Hello, race fans, and welcome to week number 7 of the V8 Supercar Americas series here, presented by v8sonline. I'm JD Smith. With me tonight to call all the action will be Kane Craft, and I want to let you know, guys, that tonight's broadcast is presented in glorious high definition by the V8 Supercar fan group, Direct Clutch Services, and our good friends at Get Dirty MX. My name is JD Smith, the V8 Supercar fan group tonight, our very own as well. I'm JD Smith once again, and I have a special guest with us tonight. Mr. Jake Burton's going to be up here in the booth with us tonight to help us out with the eyes out on the track. We're at quite a big track tonight, guys. Sebring, and a special place for all motorsports racing. Without further ado, let me bring in here my good friend Kane. Tell us a little bit about what we got going on tonight and maybe how these points have been shaping up through the first half of our season.
Tonight we head to Sebring. It's a unique track. It's a track all on its own. The guys haven't raced here very much, so everybody pretty much had to relearn the track again. So it's definitely going to be interesting. The points as we come into the race tonight. Let's see if I can find the points here. There we go. Marlon McMullen's in the lead, and he's got a pretty good little cushion, about 120 points, 119 point cushion over Sean Kelly, who's in second. Michael Fulcher's in third. Sam Collins in fourth. Chad Chastain's down in fifth. Curtis Chipway's in sixth. Nigel Baines is in seventh. Mark Anderson eighth. Kurt Stenberg's in ninth. Mike Budzine's in 10th. Bo Catel's in 11th. Graham Byland Bones is in 12th. Andrew Green, a newcomer to the series, he finds himself in 13th. Jake Burton's in 14th. Sanjay Delila's in 15th. Jim Davies in 16th. David Baxter's in 17th. Martin Creepers in the Moo car, he's in 18th. Peter Barlow's in 19th. Brenton O'Brien rounds out the top 20. Chris Hogan, SDC Motorsports, he's in 21st spot. Tony Lynch is in 22nd, and Martin Carroll is in 23rd.
How about that, man? That's some crazy point standings. It's been really a two-car battle up at the front of the field between Marlon McMullen, the two-time back-to-back and defending champ, and also with Sean Kelly. It's been very exciting thus far. We've had excellent battles up at the front of the field and in the middle and the rear of the field, Kane. A lot of the new talent that's up and coming in the league, or I call it a league, but in this series has been just great. I've enjoyed it. And we've had some really, really good talent that's battling one another all throughout these races. It's been very entertaining. And just as we cross over the halfway point, it's good news if you're a Marlon McMullen fan. He is leading the points. He has a soft little cushion. Not a lot, not enough to be safe or considered, or he can just kind of cut back and lean back a little bit. But it definitely gives him some breathing room. But it does turn the heat up on Sean Kelly a little bit. It's the second half of the season. He's really going to have to attack, maybe pull some more aggressive driving that he typically doesn't do. And Sebring might have to be the first place that he pulls that out of the bag. This is a big track, over 3 miles in length. This place right here can get crazy in a hurry. It's not a track that these drivers spend a lot of time on, so it is different. And like I said, we're going to have Jake Burton with us, normally out there on the track, here in the booth with us tonight. Jake, how you doing, buddy? You ready for this race at Sebring?
I'm going well, JD. It's going to be a fantastic race to watch. You're going to see some of these guys I'm normally used to racing with. Get to watch them from a different perspective tonight, and it'll be interesting to see how Marlon and Sean go. It'll be an interesting battle, and also shout outs to Dylan Shepherd, who's made top split tonight and joining Marlon for Power Bond.
It's excellent stuff. So we'll have some 2 Power Bond drivers out there for sure. Let's talk about, as the guys are still warming up here, let's talk about that starting grid tonight. And speaking of that Power Bond driver, Marlon J. McMullen is going to be on the pole tonight, guys. He had qualified. The pole time tonight was 2 minutes, 3.331 seconds. So very good time for Marlon, but very close behind. And starting on the outside pole will be Sean Kelly. Now, Sean finished with a time of 2:03.34. So very, very close. One just right there off of Marlon, just just missed the pole. He'll start right there on the outside. In row 2 tonight, it'll be Curtis Chipaway and Nigel Baines. In row 3, it will be Michael Fulcher and Kamikaze Race Team. And on the outside of that row will be Peter Barlow of Overclockers Australia. Andrew Green, the newcomer, is going to be in the Kermit Mobile as usual, starting in the 7th position tonight. And Sam Sutton will be starting in the 8th spot. Martin Creamers will be in the Mad Cow machine, and also he'll be starting 9th. Corey Preston rounds out our top 10. And looking a little bit out of the top 10 here in 11th tonight, it will be Kamikaze Race Team's Mark Anderson with SDC Motorsports. Martin Carroll starting in 12th in the Simpit Falcon. Sanjin Delilac in the Altitude Volvo will be starting 13th with Michael Yo starting 14th. Richard Aylward got the 15th starting spot with Luke Emerton in 16th. Dylan Shepard will be starting tonight 17th, and rounding out our 18-car field tonight, guys, it is Greg Sharp in the Fanatec Ford Falcon. Going to be really fun tonight, guys. A lot of great talent out there. We have a nice field for this race here at Sebring. Let's get ready for one great race as we kick off the second half of our 2014 Season 2 season. Okay, well, since we're having a little bit of rev, will we hear the rest? Here they go. The engines are revved. Lights are on. They're off. And there we're off, finally. It's going to be a good jump from Sean Kelly, who's going to immediately run side by side with Marlon McMullen and make the pass. A great start by the Hybrid Simulations driver. He's taken a very wide entrance into turn 1. It pays off nicely. He has about a car length ahead of Marlon McMullen. Back in third, that race was won by Michael Fulcher. A great move by him. He moves up into the third position just ahead of the Simpit Ford Falcon, and a great job by Michael Fulcher there. He really pulled ahead. That's Nigel Baines. Now, Nigel had a great start as well. He stood in 4th place. He started 4th, but he held it. He had a good battle going with Michael Fulcher. Now going through turns 3, 4, and 5 now. Still a beautiful job by Marlon McMullen out front. I'm sorry, in second, I apologize. Sean Kelly out in front, and there's still a car length battle between the two. Now the big battle on the track is for 4th. It's between Nigel Baines, and he is holding on for dear life because here comes Curtis Chipaway in the Rest in Peace Can-Am. He's got a new color this week. He's got the baby blue on the Ford Falcon. The Rest in Peace Can-Am Ford Falcon is right there giving Nigel Baines all the pressure he can handle. Nigel is holding on right now, and it looks that he will hold on. We take our attention back to the very front of the field now, where the Hybrid Racing Simulations car of Sean Kelly has now held that 1-car lead, and it's almost bumper to bumper now as Marlon and the Dayco Ford Falcon putting on all kinds of pressure on our leader. Back in 5th place right now, it is Michael Fulcher. He was in 5th. He's moved on up a little bit. Michael Fulcher in the 4th position. Back in 5th, it is Nigel Baines, and Nigel still trying to hold off Curtis Chipaway, but here comes Kurt. They're door to door, and down on the inside, it will be Curtis Chipaway with the advantage. Can he pull off the pass? And it sticks as they come around Sunset Bend. Turn 17 here, and a beautiful job, Curtis Chipaway with the pass. Beautifully done right now. Now we get a good view. And finally, welcome, Kane. We're glad we're back on video. Sean Kelly out in front. All you guys missed was the first lap. A lot of good action going on. We got some good action in the back of the field here with Martin Creamers side by side right now with Mark Anderson. Very close. A beautiful job by the newcomer Martin Creamers in the Mad Cow Ford Falcon. A beautiful pass there. And they were side by side. It could have got hairy in a second. We also have Corey Preston, who is right there in that field. Here comes out on the outside. Now will the Kamikaze Race Team try for a pass? Here he does. He goes side by side with Martin Creamers, and he will get the spot right back. A beautiful job by Mark Anderson. Oh, he loses it, guys. He's going to just, oh, and now he spins out Martin Creamers. That was huge, and it was definitely unintentional, but that is going to cause a big time loss for both drivers. Not good for Martin Creamers and not good for Mark Anderson. Both cars involved. No damage should be major, but it does cost them hefty time.
I think lag might have played a little bit of issue there. Martin did get a little bit of lag right as all this was going down.
I'm going to call it lag, but that was close. They were so close that any lag would have caused major problems, as what we saw right there. Very, very unfortunate. Okay, checking in with our leaders right now. It's Sean Kelly doing what he has to do, guys. Pre-race, we talked about him and how he must perform aggressively to get back up close to Marlon McMullen in this points lead. Marlon is hanging in very close. It's still a long way to go. We're only on lap number 2. The guys are coming around Sunset Bend here to complete the second lap, and Sean Kelly has led both of the first 2 laps. He looks very calm and collective early in this race.
See Sanjin and Corey Preston, old teammates here, on a 2 wide up the front straight. Sanjin made a nice move into the last turn, but looks like Corey might be able to get back into turn 1.
Yeah, fantastic battle going on right there. Thank you very much, Jake. That is a great point. The HPR Falcon trying to hold there on the inside. Who will get the pass? Look at this. It's going to be Sanjay Delilac who will get the initial pass here, and he's going to hold on to that. We also have Marty Carroll there in 11th. Now, Marty started the race back in 12th. He's up to 11th. He could easily grab 2 positions if he keeps up a good pace here. Back a little bit in the race, a few cars back. We do have a good battle going on with Luke Emerton and Dylan Shepard. Dylan holding off the Simpit Ford Falcon, and he's doing a fantastic job. I tell you what, he really is. I'm really proud of him. He's the Dayco Ford Falcon looks really strong right now. You mentioned he's glad he's in the top split. He's holding his own right now.
Yeah, he's definitely suffering a little bit of damage as well. He had some light contact with Richard Elwood into turn 1 that last lap. Unfortunately ended with Richard going off the road, but looks like Shep's having some damage at the moment, unfortunately, but we'll see how he maintains that through the race.
Up in the 7th position, it's Andrew Green, and he would love to move up into the 6th position. That's Sam Sutton in the Cosmo Lighting Ford Falcon right there in front. And Andrew has closed this gap down in a hurry over literally the past 3 turns. He's inched his way ever closely, and you're got to think he's trying to get a pass here. But a big burst of energy coming down this long backstretch here at Sebring. Beautiful job by Sam Sutton.
It's like Curtis Chipaway's got a run on Michael Fulcher for KRT here going into turn 1.
Yeah, side-by-side battle right there, and a wonderful job by Curtis Chipaway. He's going to try to move on the inside, but I think the advantage will actually be on the outside in turn 1, as we saw early in the race from Sean Kelly. He took that really wide turn into turn 1, and it gave him a lot of momentum. We saw it there tried by Michael Fulcher. Unfortunately, it will not pay off because Curtis Chipaway has made the pass. Nigel Baines now in the picture, as Nigel is right there on the bumper of Michael Fulcher. So we have a 3-car battle for 3rd place. Back up in the front, if you're wondering about our leader, Sean Kelly, he is still got a car length ahead of Marlon McMullen. These 2, I swear, it's like Sean's pulling him with a rope. Marlon is not losing any ground. He hasn't gained any ground. He is right there at that car length mark and just hanging around.
Now this is going to be a pit stop race. I think you mentioned that earlier. I expect the drivers come in. I think the pit window opens right around lap 8 or 9. But I think most drivers will be coming in right around lap 10, maybe 11. I think a late pit can be as late as lap 15, 16, possibly even 17 or 18 maybe.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see some guys come in a little later in the race, maybe around lap 17. But we do know that some drivers, ooh, a little wide there by Kurt on exit. We have seen some of the guys, the trend this season has been an early pit stop strategy for the majority of the field. A lot of these drivers tend to want to get that pit out of the way and back out on track. So we'll see how things play out in just a few laps time. As Kane just mentioned, would suspect some of these guys to come in as early as lap 7 or 8.
Yeah, the undercut could be in effect today with a track like this. Tyre wear's huge, so we'll see how we go, but I presume most will pit after lap 10, I'd say.
Yeah, it's interesting. You have two different surfaces here at Sebring, over by from Sunset Bend all the way through the start-finish line, all the way into turn 1. It's actually concrete, and a lot of mix between concrete and different types of asphalt throughout the track. It does wear the tires down very heavily. That is Curtis Chipaway, and he is doing fantastic right now. Kurt, let's just take a little look on him. He was battling for third really closely with Michael Fulcher. Remember, just a lap and a half ago, he made the pass on Mike and now has moved into the third position. And he's actually put a little bit of ground on Michael Fulcher in his Kamikaze race team, Ford Falcon. Also, Curtis Chipaway doing a fantastic job right now. He looks to be enjoying third, and he has fantastic pace. I'm going to compare his pace to the leader. If you're watching, 2 minutes and 5 seconds for our Curtis Chipaway, 205.5 for the previous lap. Our leader, Sean Kelly, with a 204.1. So the leader is moving away slightly. Curtis going to have to find some pace somewhere, or hope that the leader has a little bit of tire wear issues and slows down. Remember, pit stop times will be huge. You can make up or lose a lot of time in the pits today. How about Sean Kelly? Sorry, go right ahead. I was going to say, our leader got real loose coming around Sunset Bend right there, coming towards the start-finish line. And you'd think that would help Marlon McMullen, but it didn't. He's still got a great lead going.
Yeah, I was just going to mention the difference in lines between the two around the whole track. Marlon appears to be keeping it quite narrow but slow on the inside, whereas Sean's running kind of the wider line to get the exit. I'm not sure which is going to work on tyre wear. I think Marlon will probably end up with better tyre wear, so we'll have to see. But unfortunately, being in that hot air, it might tear up Marlon's tyres a little bit more, so we'll see how this race develops.
Yeah, it's going to be definitely interesting, Jake. I'm telling you right now, it really kind of dumbfounded me the way I saw Sean Kelly take turn 1. It was extremely wide off the start, and it paid off. I was expecting him to lose loads of time, but the momentum that he got from it paid on the straightaway right there. It's not a long straightaway, but it was enough for him to get that advantage he needed. And it seems ever since he's been using the wide turns, trying to get the most he can on exit. And it's just fun watching these guys run two different lines, but keep about the same times. They're running almost identical times.
Still got a great battle going for the 4th position. Nigel Baines has just been putting some serious pressure on Michael Fulcher for that position. Nigel Baines and Mike Fulcher, those two are two guys that we've seen run neck and neck in so many races throughout the last couple seasons.
Yeah, no shortage of the battle right now. Beautiful job by Michael Fulcher to just kind of ignore the pressure being put on by Nigel Baines. It's right there, and he, with any mistake, could help. Now, right now, Nigel trying to utilize that draft down this. This is an extremely long backstretch here at Sebring. A lot of speed, cars traveling at 165 before dropping off the accelerator as they head into the wide turn.
Andrew Gray managed to get around Sam Sutton just then, so great job to Andrew's got another position that puts him up into 6th place. Nigel Baines into the pits.
So the first round of pit stops have begun as Nigel Baines and the Simpit Ford Falcon decide to head into the pits. We'll have to keep an update on pit times as they will be a humongous story in this race.
Man, Marlon McMullen is not letting Sean get away. right there. Sean has got to be feeling that pressure. And this is like 3 weeks in a row that Sean Kelly has had some serious pressure. He's having a great race with Curtis Chipaway and even Chad Chastain. A lot of close racing here for Sean Kelly in this v8 Supercars Americas series.
Nigel Baines is back safely out on the pits. It looked like all went well in the pits for Nigel. Back out on the track now. We'll kind of see how the trends take now that one of the cars has been in the pits. We'll see how Nigel's tire wear happens over the course of the remainder of the race. He won't come in again, so what he has now is going to have to last him.
Looks like Curtis Chipaway has taken advantage of Nigel Baines and Michael Fulcher's battle and has actually pulled away from the two, even though Nigel just pitted, and he's actually running lap times only a couple tenths off the leaders at the moment. So Curtis doing a fantastic job there in third.
He is, and tell you what, I like the updated rest in peace Can-Am X scheme this week. He added some funky stripes on the beginning. I guess you could call those tears coming down from the headlights, boys.
Yeah, I keep thinking Curtis is going to join up with one of the other teams and ditch the RIP Can-Am car and for another sponsor, but he keeps on with the RIP car. I really think we'll be seeing him in a new paint job before too long.
Well, if you want to be technical, he has had a new paint scheme every week. Every time we comes, we see a new RIP color, and he went with the baby blue this week. We've seen green, we've seen purple, we've seen red. I mean, we've seen yellow.
He is keeping it fresh.
He changes every week, and I tell you what, there is logo on the hood, and it looks like it's baby. Or what is that? I don't want to say it wrong. It is Baby Metal.
Baby Metal.
Yeah, Baby Metal. And that's Jim Davey who snuck his voice in here. Welcome to the show, Jim.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Doing fantastic, buddy. Glad that you could make an appearance here.
Jim is keeping an eye on the second split for us. Jim, have you got eyes on the second split tonight?
I do. Let me tell you, it's actually pretty hard to keep up with everything going on. First thing is we got David Baxter with the Redback Racing Ford Falcon. He's been running up front since the start. Adam Harden's been right behind him though in the Overclockers Australia Mad Cow funky white and black paint scheme. I tell you, the thing really does look like a cow. But what's really interesting, Mark Pickett started 11th. By the end of lap 1, he was up to 4th, and he is currently up to 3rd, running about a second and a half a lap faster than the top two, but he's about 11 seconds back from them. So it's going to be interesting to see if he can catch him by the end of the race.
Wow, guys. Remember that name, Mike Pickett.
Yeah, Mark Pickett's going to be something to watch. And the pit stops have started, but about 4th through 11th, they're all only separated by about 5 or 6 seconds right before the pit stop started.
Sorry to cut you off there, Jim, but we had Mullen in last lap, and we now have our leader Sean Kelly to respond in the pit lane.
Well, that's always good to hear. Oh, and some information about your buddy Curtis there. I had the fortune of being teammates with Curtis for a while, and in addition to Chad and them, he's going to stick with the privateer for a while. I know there have been a couple teams that have gone to him, asked him if he's interested. But he said he's just interested in remaining as a privateer for right now.
You gotta love that. You gotta respect that. He wants to do his own thing. I respect that a lot. Privateers, they do it all on their own, and I like that.
Yep, I get the chance to chat with him every now and then throughout the week. Like I said, we used to be teammates, still chat a lot, still throw things at each other, get some ideas going off each other, but he's always been one to watch. I think right now he's just kind of chilling, and I think it actually caught him by surprise because he had been out of the V8s for a little while when he came back this season and found out that Can-Am had kind of gone by the wayside.
Man, guys, I gotta let you know, speaking of Curtis Chipaway, he just went in for his pit stop. Remember, he was ahead of Nigel Baines going into the pits. He just came out, and Nigel just edged him as he came out of the pits. So right now, Curtis Chipaway battling with Nigel, just like it was when they went in, except for the roles are reversed. Now it's Kurt trying to get the pass again. Can Curtis pass Nigel again?
Another place where the pit stops is hurt is Marlon McMullen. McMullen's pit stop at 19.1 seconds. Sean Kelly, the guy he's racing with, 14.5. So Sean Kelly got a pretty good lead. Pulled ahead by quite a bit there in the pits.
Well, this is exactly what he needed in the hybrid simulations, Ford Falcon. Sean Kelly trying to make some room up the score sheet to try to catch some ground on the point leader. And I tell you what, if he can hold out for a win today, it will help him edge a little bit closer towards Marlon McMullen. Problem is, Marlon's in second.
Maybe.
That 5 seconds almost sounds like a fuel strategy difference.
Not fuel, Jim. I'd say this has a lot to do with tyres. As I said before the race to JD, I would say that Marlon has taken 4 and Sean has taken none.
I think you might be right, Jake, because at 5 seconds different than the pit stop, that's pretty significant.
I saw Marlon overshot his box a little bit too, but he didn't lose 5 seconds there, so I'd say Marlon's got all 4 tyres, and Sean's just going to keep that gap now so that you can't let Marlon make use of those tyres.
Well, that's going to make it very fun here, guys, because it's only lap 10 of 22, and I tell you what, it's going to come down to either 4 fresh tires from the back or trying to save with no tires in the front. Eventually, Sean Kelly's times will drop tremendous, or actually he'll lose some time, and that's going to help Marlon McMullen. But with this 4.5 second gap that he has right now, he's going to have to hold on to that really tight. Looking around some of the rest of the field, here we are almost at the halfway point, guys. Michael Fulcher is the leader at the moment. He has not made his pit stop. Andrew Green is currently second. Peter Barlow is in third. Sanjay Dalalik is in the 4th position. And then it goes Sean Kelly in 5th. He will be the leader once pit stops are commenced. Marlon McMullen is in 6th place. Greg Sharp is currently 7th. Luke Emerton in the 8th position, and big pass is going on right now. We're side by side. A scary moment for Luke Emerton, and had contact from the man that we were talking about just a minute ago, Curtis Chipaway. Now Nigel Baines is going to hold on. He's still ahead of Kurt, but very close action. Back to what I was saying there with the continuing down our leaderboard. It's Nigel Baines in 9th, Curtis Chipaway in 10th, Sam Sutton in the 11th position, Corey Preston is in 12th, Michael Yo 13th, 14th is Dylan Shepard, Richard Elward is in 15th, Marty Carroll currently in the 16th position, Martin Creamer 17th, and a member, Mark Anderson, is 18th, and I hate to report, guys, he is currently off the track and in the garage area, so not the day Mark Anderson was wanting. Remember, him and Martin Creamers had that incident a little earlier in the race.
And that last lap, Marlon was 4/10 quicker than our leader, Sean Kelly.
So it's already starting here at lap 11, guys. This is going to be fun to watch. It's a race to 22. Who can use different strategies? Which one's going to be the right call? Both these guys have about the same pace. If they have the same tires, the same fuel load, and the same setup, they really are almost have identical paces. So it's really going to come down to whose decision is going to pay off. That's what makes racing so fun, guys. A lot of people don't realize what all goes into it. It's not just who has the heaviest foot. It's so much more than that. And it's a really good example of that right here, what we're seeing at Sebring in week 7.
See, Curtis has made the move on Nigel Baines into the hairpin at the end of the back straightaway, and Michael Fulcher, who pitted a few laps later than everyone else, has actually dropped behind them. But now with new tyres, let's see if he can take advantage of Nigel and Curtis battling.
Yeah, it's going to be a good, fun race to watch. I tell you what, while they're getting ready to heat up, Jim, is that things kind of looking the same in the second split as far as decisions. Are you seeing a difference between drivers taking tires, drivers not taking tires, thus forth and so on?
Well, I'll tell you what, actually, by and large, people are taking 4. But we do have a big upset here. Mark Pickett going into the tower turn, turn 13, downshifted too quickly, blew his motor. He was running third really strong. He is now out of the race.
Wow, I said remember Mark Pickett, but I wasn't expecting it to be for that reason. And right now, we got a big thing going on right here in the race. Nigel Baines has been passed by Curtis Chipaway, but now is in danger of losing another position to Michael Fulcher. Very, very close battle between the two. And right now, a big part of the track coming off that back stretch. A lot of speed carried into this turn, and a beautiful job through Sunset Bend from Nigel Baines. But, oh, we got a little loose on exit, and that may help Michael Fulcher. He comes outside to make the pass. Nigel will cross the start-finish line first, but here to the inside now, a very wide turn-in for Michael Fulcher, and don't think that's going to pay off. It may. He has a lot of more momentum than Nigel, but will it be enough? Here they are side by side again, and no, it will not. Beautiful job. Nigel made the right call, taking the narrow entrance. He didn't have the momentum that Michael had, but it did pay off for Nigel to take the shorter route. Remember, we talked, that's what Marlon McMullen's route is around this track, and Sean Kelly takes more of a track, or more of a race line like we're seeing Michael Fulcher run. So kind of a little indication of what we could see at the front, guys. Yeah, good to see Yo back out on the track as well. But I got to give a shout out to Andrew Green, guys. The Kermit Mobile is the official leader of the race right now, and I'm sure he's having fun leading the lap out of here. It's good to see a newcomer doing good, leading laps out here. Even if he hadn't made his pit stop yet, which he's going to do this lap, he's heading into the pits now. That means all we have left to pit is Peter Barlow. And I believe that's it, guys. I think the last on the track that has not pit is Peter Barlow. So, and he just came in, yeah. So
that is going to clear the field, and we find Sean Kelly back up into the first position.
Yeah, so we called it and said they made pit as late as 17, and they went in early. So the trend continues. Earlier pit stops been the story this year, and so they continue. Andrew Green now on his way out of the pits there, and we should see Peter Barlow leaving soon. Peter's still in his box, guys.
So you see Marlon and Sean once again. Marlon took another 4/10 out of Sean that lap. The gap is now 3.8 seconds with 10 to go.
Wow. Going to be really fun watching this battle continue. It's lap 13 of 22. And I'll do a quick rundown here. Once we complete a lap with everybody made pit stops, we'll see how things kind of went from before the pits to after. Things have changed a little bit throughout the track. Mainly our leader, Sean Kelly, out to a large lead, but he's starting to lose that ground, as we just heard from our good buddy Jake there. This decision to get 4 fresh tires might have been the right call.
Sure, Marlon's car definitely seems a lot more central through a majority of the track, a lot more settled under acceleration. Sean will be feeling the tyre wear right about now for sure.
Yeah, and with 10 whole laps remaining, or about, let's call it 9.5 laps remaining now, that's a lot of times to be riding on older tires when you got somebody like Marlon McMullen with 4 fresh rubbers on. That's big.
As we said earlier, it looks like Michael Fulcher's starting to pressure Nigel Baines once again.
Yeah, it's a fantastic battle. Kane mentioned it earlier. We've watched these two go at it all season long. And here they are again at Sebring. They're not disappointing. One of the best battles on the track is these two. They're still going at it. You see Nigel, he takes the narrow way through. Here they are, Sunset Bend again. I love it. It's the final turn here at Sebring before they head up towards the start-finish line. and Nigel has that turn down pat. He also has turn 1 down. I like the way Nigel takes the narrow way through the turn. You'll see Michael Fulcher go a little bit wider. He doesn't go quite as wide as he did last time. I think he realized it was not the way to go in trying to battle. Now also, guys, don't look too far away. There's a great battle for 7th place right behind these two. It's Sam Sutton and Andrew Green. They're going at it again. Remember, before pit stops, those two were going at it. Here they are again, the battle for 6th. I apologize, not 7th. Battle for 6th is looking fun right now. All right, guys, here we are, lap 14 of 22. Here is the rundown of the 18-car field. Whoops, hold on, let me get that back. My field screen just popped on me. Sorry about that, guys. Let's now look at where we're at here on lap 14 of 22. In the lead, it's Sean Kelly, Marlon McMullen in 2nd. In 3rd place right now, it is Curtis Chipaway. Back in 4th, it is Nigel Baines in the Simpit Falcon. The KRT Falcon is in 5th. That's Michael Fulcher. Sam Sutton is in 6th place in the Cosmo Lighting Ford Falcon. Andrew Green in the Kermit Mobile is right there in 7th. In the Overclockers Australia Ford Falcon, it is Peter Barlow. Sanjay Dalalik in the Altitude Volvo is in 9th. Rounding out our top 10, in the HPR Falcon, it is Corey Preston. Mitchin, just want to welcome him his first race of this season. Dylan Shepard is in 11th place in the Dayco Powerbond Ford, looking really good right now. Michael Yo, another one looking good, just made contact. The FinCar Ford Falcon just made contact with Greg Sharp. Greg Sharp makes the pass to move into 12th. That'll move Michael Yo down to 13th. Luke Emerton's in 14th right now in his Simpit Ford. Marty Carroll, another SDC Motorsport car, back in 15th. He is back on the lead lap, however. Now back in 16th, it's Richard Elward. He is currently a lap down and unfortunately just left the garage area. Martin Creamer's in 17th position as he heads down pit road again. The Mad Cow Racer, and it does look just like a cow. He's pulled into the pit box again, so we'll keep an eye on him. And I mentioned earlier, our final car from the 18-car field is Mark Anderson, as he has left the track as well. He's in the garage area. In fact, I think our good buddy Mark Anderson's already went to the hotel out there. He's at the hotel bar getting him a drink.
One of the most incredible things that I've just seen on track just happened, and it looks like Sean Kelly on those 15-lap-old tyres has brought the gap back out to 4 seconds on Marlon McMullen.
Wow. I tell you what, this is going to be fun to watch. Sean Kelly really needs this win. He really needs some help from Marlon McMullen. He needs Marlon to kind of drop back a few spots so that he can gain some ground. But if Marlon is going to be as good as he has been all year, Sean Kelly's got to win some races, and I think that you're going to try to see that today. Can he hold on? You see him sliding out of the corner there. He may have really messed up not getting those tires, guys. Even with him getting the 4 seconds back, it's going to continue to get worse for him, I think. But who knows? Sean may be able to pull this thing out and in good fashion. It
had to have been the fault of Marlon. I'd guess that Marlon had to have bobbled somewhere along that last lap.
Yeah, I think you're right, Kane, because I just don't see why he would have fallen back to 4 seconds there. He has the fresh tires on, and we had been watching him gain time. Something had to have happened, a slip up somewhere. It doesn't take much, guys.
Corey Preston back to put a move back on Sanjay Dalalik for that 9th position.
Yeah, and also, Kane, another one, Nigel and Michael Fulcher still going at it. Nigel Baines did a fantastic job to hold on to that 4th place position. That was a close pass attempt right there by Michael Fulcher. He almost got it. Curtis Chipaway not far in front of these guys. He's up there a few seconds ahead, but these guys, the way they're battling, I don't think they'll be able to catch old Kurt.
They have caught Curtis the last few laps, and once again, Sean pulled another 4 tenths out of Marlon that last lap, which is very surprising.
Wow, that now is at 4.5, and guys, this is lap 16. Marlon has to get a move on now if he wants to win this race. He is going to have to put his moves on now. There can be no more time lost for Marlon. Nigel Baines still trying to hold on to this 4th place spot. Michael Fulcher putting all kinds of heat on Nigel Baines at the moment. The Kamikaze race team car busts over the corner right there, hits the curb really hard, gets in the grass a little bit, but stays right there with Nigel. Very, very, very fun battle right here for 4th, guys.
We'll look to see Michael do something up the back straight into Sunset Corner there. I think he'll have a run.
Yeah, I think you're right. Oh, good run right now from Andrew Green. Remember him and Sam Sutton battling for position. Andrew Green has made the pass on Sam Sutton now, and Andrew Green starting to make some headway. He's gotten a lot of breathing room between him and Sam, and now is starting to set his eyes on this battle that it pursues in front of him. Oh no, Andrew Green shot really, really wide, almost hit the inside retaining barrier, and that would have been devastational. He's going to continue, but that gives Sam Sutton the spot back. A big break for Sam to move back up a spot up into 6th place. Andrew Green, that was scary.
Sean Kelly pulls another 10th out of Marlon that last lap.
Boy, it just continues to grow, and here we are at the start of lap 17. It's not looking good for a win for Marlon. Marlon needs to sit there, kind of focus. Somebody explain to me how this can be happening. Marlon, 4 fresh tires. Sean Kelly riding on old tires. How is he able to put time back on the battle between him and Marlon McMullen?
It could be a couple of things, JD. It could actually be that Marlon didn't necessarily take 4 tyres. I mean, I don't understand why his stop would have been 5 seconds slower otherwise, but at the moment it sure seems like that could be the problem. Or he just pushed too hard straight out of the pits and just put a little bit too much heat into him. Or he could be saving him for the last 4-lap charge or something like that. Who knows?
Very good point there. I tell you, it's really mind-boggling though when you look at it from a distance, but we'll check it here at the end of this lap and see how this is going. It's definitely interesting, that's for sure.
Back in 4th position, Nigel Baines is still holding off Michael Fulcher in what has proven to be the epic battle of the race.
Yeah, these have been going at it, Kane, since the drop of the green flag. I mean, this is ever going. I think they were battling through the entire race at Bathurst last week too, and here they are doing it again. I mean, I think they practiced together or something. I mean, they are like identical drivers.
See Michael make the advantage of this draft now and see if he can get Nigel down into turn 1.
Yeah, here they are coming around the final turns here at Sunset Bend. And let's see if he can get it right here. This is where he get it, but Nigel is so good through this final turn 17 here at Sebring. You see him do a beautiful job right there. Gets the run towards the start-finish line. Heading into turn 1, the narrow entry by Nigel Bain has paying off. You see him go in a little narrower than Michael Fulcher, but Michael has started to follow Nigel's line there through 1. All right, let's go on board with Michael Fulcher. Let's watch him follow through this track around, see if he can get. So as we go on board, and tell you what, beautiful, beautiful view up here. A little bit of debris on the windshield of Michael Fulcher. Get a good view of Sebring from our driver's point of view. Head now under the Mobil 1 bridge here. A big right-hand turn here. Got to watch all this speed off. He's right on the bumper of Nigel Baines here. You see how it's hard to make a pass. There's not a lot of room to make a pass like it looks from up above. As you get down on the track, you really see how tough it is on these guys. And tell you what, you can see also how it wears the tires down. A lot of stopping and a lot of turning. Here we are, big right-hander into a left-hander here. And it's the biggest passing zone you're going to see in just a moment when we hit the long straightaway on the back side of this track. And it's just an awesome opportunity. If you're Michael Fulcher, you'll see here how he'll try to utilize this draft. He gets right behind Nigel Baines, and here he is Going to have a left-hander here as we get ready to head into that long back stretch. Now the right-hander, a big turn. You want to get all the momentum you can through this turn because you're going to need it up here. Here's it is again. And now here's the biggest. You got to get speed through here, and he's got an inside advantage, but he has to kind of slow up as he was right on Nigel's bumper. Now he'll utilize the draft. You'll see him get right there. He's utilizing it, and he's going to move to the inside to try to make the pass. We got the onboard view here for you, and Nigel gets him into the wall. Right here on board, you've seen it from the view and now through a Sunset Bend here. It looks like that's going to pay off for Michael Fulcher there and hurt Nigel Baines. There's your onboard action for today. How about that, guys? Wow.
And as I said earlier, in the last 2 laps, Marlon is on the charge and has taken 8/10 out of Sean Kelly.
Wow. So while we were on board, Marlon starting to move back, but this battle between Nigel Baines and Marlon McMullen is just going nowhere. I mean, they are just continuing this thing. Now Michael Fulcher is ahead, but Nigel's not going anywhere. He's right there. He does have a little bit of damage from that incident. We'll see how that wears on him here the next couple laps. It is lap 19 of 22, guys. Only a handful of laps remaining. Sean Kelly is your leader, 3.9 seconds over Marlon McMullen at the time of crossing the start-finish line. Marlon McMullen is in second, Curtis Chipaway in third. Michael Fulcher is in the 4th position with Nigel closely in 5th. Sam Sutton in the 6th position with Andrew Green right there with him, battling for 6th. Sam Sutton is trying to hold off the 7th place Andrew Green. Peter Barlow back in the 8th slot with Sanjay Dalalik in 9th. 10th is Corey Preston, Dylan Shepard 11th. 12th is Greg Sharp with Luke Emerton in 13th. Michael Yo 14th with Marty Carroll in 15th. Marty Creamers is in 16th place in the Mad Cow Ford Falcon. Richard Elward and Mark Anderson round out the 18-car field. Both of those cars in the garage areas. Their days are completed. So here we are, guys, lap 19. Sean Kelly going around Sunset Bend, getting ready to start lap 20. The next time he comes by, the white flag will be out. Can Marlon put that much time on in these last 2 laps?
News just in that we have Marty Carroll after that incident on the, not Marty Carroll, Nigel Baines and Michael Fulcher, both with meatball flags after that accident on the back straight, which will hand Sam Sutton and Andrew Green the 4th and 5th position.
Wow, big news late in this race. Thanks, Jake, for that information. That is humongous news. Jim, how's things working over in race 2 here before we start our last lap here?
Well, it's calmed down, really. David Baxter still leading in the Redback Racing Ford Falcon, followed by Adam Harden in the Overclockers Australia car. Stacy Walker's running 3rd. Matt Yeomans was very close after everybody pitted, but he has fallen back. Turn 10 has been catching everybody out tonight, including Matt Yeomans in 4th and Jamie Eaton in 5th. The battle for 4th and 5th is still close. It's about half a second apart. It's the closest battle on track right now. That's the top 5 right now.
Thanks a lot. That's Jim Davey with the update from Split 2. And I tell you what, guys, white flag will be out this time by. Can Marlon make an incredible, legendary run to try to somehow catch Sean Kelly? I just don't know if he has it in him this late in the race. Sean Kelly has done a fantastic job holding this lead. The pit stop paid dividends, and I'll tell you what, it really put the time in between the two. It's down to 3.6 when they started this lap. We'll see. It's a lot of time to be made up. Marlon's almost going to have to hope for a mistake from Sean Kelly. But don't want to say that too early. It's still one more lap. They're going down the backstretch one more time before the white flag comes out. Here he is around Sunset Bend, 16 and 17 for the white flag in the air, guys. The final lap is starting now here at Sebring, week 7. This is what it's all about.
It looks like Sam Sutton's also made a mistake coming into turn 7, and Andrew Green's capitalised and taken 4th position.
Great move there by Andrew Green. It was only a 1/10 added on to Marlon McMullen's battle, so still 3.4 seconds behind Sean Kelly. Sean Kelly just needs to stay smooth, and this be a victory for him in week 7. I like what I'm seeing back here in 4th place. Andrew Green to the start-finish line. He starts his final lap here at Sebring.
Big battle back for 6th, or for 7th rather, as Sanjin and Corey Preston are still going at it.
Right now our leader Sean Kelly halfway through this final lap, just a little bit more to go here. He's got about 1.5 miles left in this race, and he will have a victory here at Sebring. All he has to do is keep the car smooth, calm, and collective, and Marlon is hoping for the best back there in 2nd, as he is a good 3 seconds back. Hopefully he can hang on there for a 2nd place finish if he can't, if nothing crazy happens up here at the front. All right, guys, here it is, Sean Kelly, the final push. He's got just a quarter of the track remaining, and he will have a victory here as he slides through the turns that those tires have got to be worn. Beautiful job popping off the curbs there, and here he enters the big backstretch, guys. Only 2 more turns remain for Sean Kelly, and here comes Marlon McMullen and Michael Fulcher back in 3rd. He's not in 3rd, pardon me. He had the pit, I apologize.
Sam Sutton is on the back of Andrew Green coming through the last few corners. This isn't over for 4th position either.
Well, let's go ahead and say this. Through turn 17, how about it? Congratulations for the Hybrid Racing Simulations Ford Falcon. Sean Kelly has won Sebring.
Well, looks like the white flag's just now flying, JD.
Oh gosh, it is. My goodness. Now the white flag's out. I was a lap ahead of everybody. I was thinking, I don't know what I was thinking. Sorry, guys. So now, but I tell you what, Marlon lost a little bit of time on that lap. It went back to 3.6, so 2 tenths loss from Marlon McMullen. Now the white flag waves, and this is really cool for our battle for 4th. I've done this before. Now side by side, almost Sam Sutton has made the pass on Andrew Green, but we could have a rebound side by side heading to the start finish line. Who's going to get it? It looks like Sam Sutton on the inside. He does have a small momentum boost, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. A really wide turn for Andrew Green, meaning he should have the speed, but he won't have the track position, as the short route is the faster route through what we've seen mostly today. That pays off for Sam Sutton here, and I tell you what, on the final lap here at Sebring, it could be a 4th place finish for Sam Sutton. That would be definitely a great finish for Sam.
Andrew's looking very racy on the back of Sam though. This is far from over.
Definitely so. Here is Sean Kelly, a 3.5 second lead over Marlon J. McMullen. And now halfway to go. Just about a quarter of the track remains for Sean Kelly. I know he said that once before, but I'm going to just get practice for the real one, guys. Going down the back stretch now is Sean Kelly. So this is it. As long as nothing crazy happens, he should have this race. We'll see how it goes here in 2 turns, as he only has 2 to go. Through turn 16 now. The car looks stable and fine. Now turn 17. Let's go ahead and say it, guys, one more time. Congratulations goes out to the Hybrid Racing Simulations Ford. It's going to be Sean Kelly winning Sebring here in week 7. Coming across in 2nd, it will be Marlon J. McMullen. He finished 4.99 seconds back, and then it's going to be, right now, 3rd is Curtis Chipaway, as he gets ready to cross the start-finish line in 3rd. Sam Sutton and Andrew Green going to battle this thing out to the finish, guys. They're side by side down on the inside. It is Sam Sutton very close to the wall through 16, now 17. It looks like Sam should have it. Oh, Andrew Green's going to cut to the inside. We're going to have a side by side. Oh, we're not. I didn't have enough. He didn't have quite enough momentum. Beautiful job, though, by Sam Sutton. He takes 4th. Andrew Green with a nice top 5. Peter Barlow will come across in 6th. Sanjin Delilac and Corey Preston, they're still racing too. A good race here for 6th and 7th. And I tell you what, it looks like Sanjin has it. It does. The Altitude Volvo will take 7th. Corey Preston will take 8th. A good race for newcomer Dylan Shepard right now in 9th. Go ahead, Jake. Tell us about it.
I was just going to say that Greg's looking a little racy. It's not quite over, but I think Shepherd will get it. He's got good traction off the last turn. Congrats to him for his top 10. What a drive.
Yeah, beautiful job there. The other Powerbond car will finish 9th. Greg Sharp will come across 10th. Luke Emerton back in 11th in the Sim Pit Ford Falcon. He should cross in 11th. And then Marty Carroll, the other Sim Pit Ford Falcon, it will finish 12th. Mike Yo will finish 13th. Michael Fulcher will be counted 14th. Nigel Baines 15th. Marty Creamer 16th. Richard Elward 17th. And of course, Mark Anderson 18th on a disappointing day for Mark. I know he wanted to do better here at Sebring, fellas. That is the conclusion of week 7. I tell you what, that was a really enjoyable race. That was a lot better than I was expecting here at Sebring, a track we don't get to see the V8s at enough. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was a fantastic race, and I expected it because the guys don't race here a lot, so everybody was kind of fresh to the track. I expected some good close racing here, and that's what we got. Now, Sean Kelly did have a pretty good strategy. It got him out ahead, 4.5 seconds ahead of Marlon McMullen, and he was able to hold it through most of the remainder of the race. Marlon was only able to catch back about a second of it, and so excellent strategy there for Sean Kelly to pull out the win.
Yeah, I can't wait to have a word with both Sean Kelly and Marlon McMullen to find out the official decisions that were made in pit, especially Marlon, to see if that time differential was just from the mistake he made. But that 5 seconds is a long time for a pit mistake in iRacing. We'll see, but I'm telling you what, if Sean Kelly did make that advantage happen with older tires, gosh, you got to give it up for him. That was just an unbelievable driving performance we saw out of that hybrid simulations machine today.
Very close up the front for those two. Between the fastest laps was only 7/1000ths of a second, so up the front end of the field it was very close. Differing pit strategies obviously made the difference.
Yeah, absolutely. We mentioned early in the race, guys, that the pit decisions were going to be very important, and that's exactly what it turned out to be, because when you look at it, Marlon McMullen all season long and Sean Kelly have had very, very similar race paces. They're both extremely fast. And ultimately, at the end of the day, it came down to the big pit differential. Kane said it, 19-second pit stop for Marlon McMullen, who was our pole sitter. And then Sean Kelly, who started on the outside pole, only 14 seconds in the pits. So a big differential. Also, when we go back to the very start of the race, right out of the gate, Sean Kelly with a beautiful start out of the grid, and he actually made the pass initially right from the get-go. So all day long, it was just in it to win it for Sean Kelly. And I tell you what, a job well done. He deserves this win at Sebring. It just makes this battle for the championship a little more fun, guys. It's already been a blast. I just got a feeling that this battle will go down to the final day.
Before we get too much further, Jim, has the second split finished up there?
Yeah, surprisingly, well, not surprisingly, that's kind of insulting. The pace actually wasn't that far off the top split, I'll be honest with you. I mean, about 4 seconds a lap, but 4 seconds a lap on a 2-minute lap, it's not a whole lot of time. David Baxter with the Redback Racing Ford Falcon finished first, pole, first, finish. I mean, he did a great job. Adam Harden in the Overclockers Australia came in second. Matt Yeomans, third place. The second to last lap, caught out Stacy Walker, turn 10. He lost his third place to Matt Yeomans. Stacy Walker came in fourth in his Pitman Trucks, Petters.com, all sorts of sponsors all over that car. It's a great looking car. Jamie Eaton came in fifth. I tell you, the third, fourth, fifth battle was actually pretty close up until about 2 laps from the end. And Jamie has shown talent all season, but then he just makes strange mistakes. For some reason, he just lost it on the straight between the hairpin and Cunningham. Not really sure what happened. Scott Breckenridge came in sixth. Isaac, who we all know I'm not going to try to pronounce his last name, came in seventh. Keith Wheeler, another newcomer, came in eighth. Stephen Oldfield came in ninth. After overcoming a few hurdles during his race, Michael Bridges came in 10th, another newcomer. And those are all in the lead lap. It's actually really good. We didn't have a whole lot of retirements. 11th place was Jason Quire. 12th was David Terry. 13th, Peter Simons. 14th is where we started getting our retirements. Shane Rayner, Robert Bridges, Mark Pickett, and Plinio Ferreira. I probably said that wrong. 14th through 17th, but those were the retirements. So it was actually really good at the end for 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Matt Yeomans managed to get it with a nice solid drive, not making any mistakes, not putting a wheel wrong.
Absolutely. And I tell you what, that's just fantastic, Jim. And I'm going to go ahead and do things a little different this week. I think we're just going to go ahead. I want to start the Get Dirty MX post-race show right now. This is welcome, or should we do it like we've been doing it, Kane? What you want to do? Well, welcome to the Get Dirty MX post-race show, guys. As kind of informal, but it is the post-race now, as Jim Davey just summed up what happened in the second split. Fantastic race, and I really want to thank Jim for being able to give us those updates. It really gives us a great idea of the up-and-coming talent that we will have in the first split very soon. And I tell you what, big disappointment there for a blown engine there. I tell you what, for Mark, tell us that name one more time, Jake. Jim. I'm sorry.
It's been a long week for you, hasn't it?
Yes, sir.
Mark Pickett. Mark Pickett was the unfortunate driver. He was doing really strong. Started 11th, 4th place by the end of lap 1. And I'll be honest, I think that was better than what I did last night. And he was running 3rd before he blew his engine.
Boy, that is unfortunate. Wow. Oh, well, we know we'll hear more from Mark Pickett, but I won't give him that commentator curse that I gave him tonight. I told everybody, remember that name, but it did make the headlines.
Oh, they're going to remember it now.
That's right. Thanks a lot, Jim. Hang with us because we got more to talk about with you about that second split. But now I want to bring in our top split winner tonight, Sean Kelly, with a wonderful, wonderful performance. So without further ado, I will bring in Sean Kelly for a word. Sean, do you have a copy with us tonight, buddy?
Yeah, I do. How are you guys?
Man, fantastic. Sean, what a just wonderful performance tonight at Sebring. Just out of the gates, from the get-go, from the very first drop of the green flag, you had a great start. Jumped right ahead of Marlon right from the get-go. What I want to know, though, is today's race between you and Marlon, y'all had very similar pace, as y'all typically do. And what it came down to tonight was the pit stops. Your stop tonight seemed to be, I believe it was a little over 14, right at 14 seconds in some odd numbers. And Marlon McMullen's stop was at 19. Did you not take tires at that pit stop? What caused your pit to be so much faster than his?
Well, that's right. Marlon pitted a bit earlier than I expected. He normally was a little bit later, so it caught me by surprise. And I intended to take tyres, but I didn't have the best in-lap, so I sort of had to switch strategies. And yeah, I ended up taking not quite enough fuel, and I took one tyre. And it put me out with a pretty handy gap, and I could just control that to the end, really, and save a bit of fuel also.
So you took one tire, Sean. I don't know if I've ever heard of anybody taking one tire. I like it.
Yeah, we do it sometimes because if you take 2 rear tyres, then the front end can push a little bit. So yeah, we just find taking one tyre works quite well sometimes. And it worked a treat tonight.
Well, how about that, Sean? It definitely paid off. Congratulations, buddy. We talked pre-race about the points standings and how things are shaking out right now. A little bit of a cushion for Marlon right now, but with a win today and Marlon finishing second, it does help you. It just doesn't help you as much as if he would have finished in 7th. But if you keep winning like this, it's going to put you right where you need to be.
Yeah, I think I was basically about 2.5 weeks behind him, so I clawed back 1 week, and obviously last week didn't go so well, so I'll worry about the points in a few weeks' time.
It's fun. I think this battle between you two is going to go down to the final day, and it's going to be worth every bit of it. So congratulations again on the big win, Sean. I'm going to go ahead and bring Marlon in here for a interview. I'm going to leave you in here, Sean. We're doing the Get Dirty Race show right now as we speak. So I'm going to go ahead and bring Marlon McMullen in, and let's see from him. Let's see if I can get a copy from Marlon. You got us, Marlon?
Sure do, guys.
Absolutely. Just got through finished talking with your good friend Sean Kelly, and a great battle for the win, for Sean. But Marlon, you were right there. You got the pole today. A very good time set. And right from the get-go, Sean jumped out to a great jump on you at the beginning. You guys had extremely similar pace throughout the entire race. We had an unfortunate pit stop for you that ultimately really cost the race for you. You were a 19-second odd pit stop. Sean's was around 14 odd seconds. He did not take the tires like we're assuming. Did you take 4 tires or not?
I did, and I also overshot the pit stall.
Okay, we knew that you overshot it, but we didn't know if it would cause that 5-second gap. So you did not take tires.
I took tires, but I probably lost about another half a second overshooting it.
Okay, so did you end up getting 4 tires or?
Yes, 4 tires.
Okay, so we were just curious. You'll notice in the broadcast we were trying to figure out exactly what you did in the pits there. But man, tell us about driving out there.
Yeah, it was. I went in with a lot of confidence. I thought I did pretty good time, and then Sean went out this morning, and my God, he came bloody close. That made me a little bit unsettled, but other than that, came into the race. Sort of had an okay start, but typical start where I fell back a position. Other than that, just chased Sean, put as much pressure on him, and had a chance to pass him. And unfortunately, where I was, I actually didn't see where I was going for the track, so I overshot the brake marker and was lucky to actually stop it at the corner. So, yeah, other than that, had a really good battle and chose to came in that lap earlier and sort of mucked up my pit stop. And other than that, yeah, Sean did a really good job and put some pressure on him at the end, but he was just too good.
Oh man, fantastic! Well, it was a great race, Marlon. Second place finish will continue to help you in the point standings. You are the current point standings leader. Marlon, we could be seeing a 3-peat, buddy. I'm telling you, that is very impressive. Keep up the good work.
Thank you. We'll see how Sean goes. I mean, obviously he's a very strong, competent racer in his own, so I expect him to mount the challenge, and we'll see how we go for the next couple of weeks.
Well, stay in here, stay put. It's the Get Dirty MX post-race show, buddy. We're going to have a little bit more of that to talk about in just a few minutes. Let's go ahead and bring in another driver here, and tell you what, let's bring in next a driver. Let's see, who should I bring in now? Let's bring in a driver that had a great day until an unfortunate event. Let's bring in Nigel Baines. I got to talk to him about something. Nigel, welcome to the Get Dirty MX post-race show, buddy. How you doing?
Fantastic. How are you guys?
Doing wonderful. We had an interesting view of you today in the race. We were doing an onboard ride with Michael Fulcher as he was trying to pass you. And y'all we're going down the backstretch, and a little bit of contact was made, and unfortunately, it put you out of 4th place, and it kind of set the day on a different tone. Tell us about what happened.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, we were having a great battle up till there. I pitted early just to try and get the jump on Michael and Curtis, which worked, but Curtis came out right behind me, and he just had a little bit more pace, so tried to hold him off for a bit and then let him go. We managed to just about jump Fulch. I think we were kind of 3 of us together after that, and then good battle, but I took no tires, so I was starting to struggle a little bit. And I thought I'd cover enough down the inside and let Fulch take the left-hand side, and he decided to keep coming down that side, and I'm like, well, I'm not going to move, and I think we just rubbed, and it kind of stuck our cars together somehow and put us both in the wall. So a bit unfortunate, but we've had a lot of close racing over the last few seasons, and that's got to be the only piece of contact I think we've had. So yeah, it's all good. We spoke about it there, and we're all good.
I figured so, man. You guys, I tell you what, had the Epic Battle of the Race award. That was fantastic. I swear you guys have just been doing this all season long. I don't know if I've seen drivers that are so identical as far as talent-wise. You two seem to have the exact same pace every week, and y'all always end up side by side on the track together. It's really fun to watch. And I was like, I don't know. They must be secretly practicing together. Something's going on. That is just too awesome, man. You guys keep up the good work.
Thanks, guys.
Well, that's Nigel Baines. Nigel, don't go anywhere. We're fixing to get this thing started. The Get Dirty MX Post Race Show is here. I'm going to go ahead and bring in Michael. Let's have a word from him, and we'll talk a little bit more about his race. Michael, do you have a copy, buddy?
Yeah, gotcha.
Oh, doing fantastic, Michael. Welcome to the Get Dirty MX Post Race Show. How are you doing after that race? Tell us a little bit about your view of Sebring. I already go ahead and tell you, me and Kane and Jake and Jim, I guess if he got to see it, he would have agreed with us. I'm sure we gave you guys the epic battle of the race award. That was an incredible battle between you two. We actually watched your onboard footage while that unfortunate contact happened. Tell us a little bit about the race.
Well, first of all, I love Sebring. What an awesome track. So much fun muscling this thing around here. It's great. And me and Nigel have been trading lap times for the last couple of days. I knew we were going to be close. Good battle with Curtis early on too. And then after the pits, me and Nigel hooked up, and I thought we could maybe have brought Curtis in there. We were holding a good steady gap with him while slowing each other up a little. Excellent race. Enjoying every minute of it, and what an unfortunate ending.
Yeah, it really was. I hated to see that because you two, but you can only expect it to happen after a battle lasting that long, and for not just this race. I mean, we've got to look at the season. You two have been battling like this for all season, really. I mean, you guys have been. It's not the first time we've seen y'all have a good battle all race like this.
No, definitely not. And I think in the heat of the moment, we both pointed the finger at each other a little. But at the end of the day, that point you just made is so true. We've been battling close for race after race after race, and this is the first major incident between us. So put that finger back in the pocket.
That's right, buddy. You guys both raced fantastic races today. I hated it ended the way that it did, but it sure is fun watching you two. Y'all both are extremely talented drivers, and it seems that you both are growing as drivers, but what's fun is you guys are actually growing at the same rate, so it puts on these just unbelievable battles on the track, and I tell you what, it sure is fun to watch. You guys keep it up. It's going to be fun as we head out and race next week, too.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you enjoyed the show, because I sure enjoyed being part of it. I'm sure Nigel did too.
Yeah, that's right. I think we do it for the cameras, guys. That's what we do it for, you know.
That's exactly what I thought. I knew you guys were behind this. It's like nobody can battle that much, that long. We'll be at a new track next week, Circuit of the Americas, and we'll talk a little bit more about that in just a second. I want to go ahead and bring some more drivers in here and continue the post-race show. Next, let's bring in here a driver who had a fantastic race today, Mr. Sam Sutton. Welcome to the Get Dirty MX post-race show. Do you have a copy with me, buddy?
I got you, Daddy.
Excellent, excellent. Sam, fantastic job out there today, buddy. You got a 4th place finish, and well-deserved. You and Andrew Green traded paint, traded spots, and I tell you what, all you got to do now is trade some paints because that was awesome, man. I really, really enjoyed watching you two go at it. You got a 4th place finish that you really deserve today. Tell us about it.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was good to bring it home in 4th. Starting at 8th place was a bit interesting. Andrew Green and I had a great fight. We both made stupid mistakes at critical points in the race. I'd go off, and then he'd go off the next lap, and we were right back on each other's bumpers. A few ballsy moves, especially into the final turn, going too wide. But all in all, it was a good race, and I feel Andrew Green did have the pace to finish 4th, but I just guess the stupid mistakes and the ballsy moves helped me get 4th.
Absolutely. We really enjoyed watching it, like I said. Fantastic. You guys were the battle for 6th and 7th for a long time, and with the unfortunate event of Nigel Baines and Michael Fulcher, that ended up helping you and Mr. Andrew Green move up to 4th and 5th. So it was really a fun race all the way around. That's where it was. We had a battle for you two. We had a battle in front of you with Nigel and Michael Fulcher. It really was fun tonight, and we enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed it on the track as well.
Yeah, definitely. It's unfortunate what happened to Fulcher and Nigel, but I haven't seen what happened. But those two were having a good fight, and definitely couldn't keep up with them.
Absolutely, buddy. Well, thank you so much, my friend. I'm going to go ahead and bring in some more drivers, and I'm going to bring in a driver that had a phenomenal race, and we didn't talk enough about him, even though we talked about him. Let's bring in Curtis. Curtis Chipaway, welcome to the Get Dirty MX post-race show, buddy. How are you tonight?
I'm doing good. I had a great run today. Like the car felt great. Like I'm just happy I finished today.
Absolutely. I tell you what, Curtis, phenomenal performance tonight. We had a guy that was watching the show tonight wrote a comment and said, "Who's driving that number 4 car?" And so we had to let him know exactly who was driving it. Kurt, you did a really good job. And the rest in peace, Can-Am Paint continues, Saga. I tell you, we enjoyed the new colors each week.
Yeah, you gotta bring a little spice to the race every week, you know.
I know, and it looked like we had it. There was the way that you painted it, looked like there was tears coming from the eyes of the Ford Falcon.
Yeah.
It's quite funny, man. I enjoy the paint schemes each week, but on a serious note, the performance in the car is a lot better. You have really been driving this car really well, and it just continues to get better and better each week. I'm excited for what's coming for you.
Yeah, same here. I've really hit a good baseline setup this week. The car, it didn't feel loose at all. It gripped everywhere around the track, so I'm hoping that I could take this setup through the entire season.
Absolutely, that'll be fun to see. We're going to hit a new track next week. We're going to hit Circuit of the Americas, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about that once I have everybody in here. So next, I want to bring in Corey Preston real quick and talk with Corey. Corey, welcome to the Get Dirty MX Post Race Show.
Hey.
Welcome, and how about it? We haven't seen you all season, Corey. It was good to see the HPR Ford Falcon back out on the track. Tell us about your first race back.
Pretty hectic, especially towards the last 10 or so laps. I was battling Sanjin, and with new sponsor on board that we've got, yeah, pretty good.
Tell us about it. Tell us about that battle with Sanjin.
Well, nearly ended in disaster on multiple occasions, but yeah, we were just, I'd keep out braking myself at the last corner or turn one, or I'd make a mistake and he'd get back past, and then I'd drive like mad trying to get past him again, and yeah, I got past him going into the last corner, and then I just mashed the gas pedal and yeah, just lit her up, and he got back past again, and that was it. But
well, Corey, a top 10 finish, your first race back here at a track we don't spend a lot of time on in the V8s, so I'll take that as a win for you. A great day. And tell us one real quick before we move on. Tell us a little bit about that new sponsor.
oh, just the guy that sponsors us moved to a new dealership at Volvo, so yeah, we got new writing up the side of our cars. So I'd like to give a shout out to Stillwell Motor Group and Billy of Volvo Hawthorne.
Excellent, and we need a battery in the smoke detector. We keep hearing either that or you got a bird chirping in your car.
I was gonna say, Corey, this is your reminder to change your battery in your smoke detector.
Yeah, funny thing, I can never hear it now, but everybody, when I've got the microphone open, everybody seems to say, "Oh, your smoke alarm's going off."
Yeah, those things you tend to, I don't know, you just get used to them. You don't even hear them no more.
Oh, that's
Spoken
funny.
like someone that does not have a child that wakes up at home.
Yeah, I was about to say. That's funny. Well,
Yeah. My wife makes sure if mine starts chirping, I gotta get it changed right away, or I gotta hear some stuff from the wife.
You're going to hear something worse than that smoke detector if you don't change it.
That's right. I get it changed pretty quick.
Well, I'll tell you what. Let's bring in Dylan Shepard real quick. Marlon, teammate of yours. Glad to see Dylan up in the top split. Let's talk to Dylan. Dylan, welcome to the Get Dirty MX post-race show. And got to say, fantastic performance out there. Welcome to the top split, and did a great job. A top 10 finish, 9th place at Sebring. Tell us about your adventure today out on the racetrack.
Oh, hey guys, thanks for bringing me along. Yeah, it was a mad race. Not really too experienced around Sebring. Had a little bit of practice over the week. yeah, started out a bit far at the back, just poor qualifying form, I guess, and yeah, it was just picking off people one by one, and there's a few mistakes here and there, but in the end, it was just good, clean racing with everyone. Yeah, everyone gave nice, clean racing room, especially Michael Yo. He was able to just let me pass because he knew he was running out of fuel, so it was a good race craft for him. So yeah.
That's right. Tell you what, it's funny. But it's good to see out there. I'm sure that Marlon likes having a teammate out there on the track with him. It looks good. The black and green Dayco Ford looked good out there. The Power Bond team looked good today.
Good having a teammate finally.
There he is. I knew he'd show up.
Yeah, it's definitely great having Marlon with me, helping me. Like without him, I wouldn't be anywhere near up the field as I have been lately. Yeah, he's helped me with setup. He helps me with lines. He's awesome to have. So yeah, I thank him and everyone at Powerbond.
Does he help you with your mental preparation?
You sure?
Yeah, take him round back.
Oh, yeah, he definitely makes sure I'm ready for it. You know, he pushes us hard and makes sure we have the right mentality going into the race.
Sounds great. We enjoyed having you, Dylan, and I hope we continue to see you, buddy. Especially next week. We're going to have fun talking about that one in just a minute, and another post-race topic I'll bring up. We got 2 more drivers to bring in, so we'll keep on moving with them. Next, I'm going to bring in Marty Carroll and talk to Marty there. Marty, welcome to the Get Dirty MX post-race show, and tell us how you're doing out there, buddy. A race tonight, and you started off fantastic in this thing. Had a lot of pace, ended up finishing 12th. Was proud to see you finish on the lead lap after you were 1 lap down at one point. Tell us about it.
Started 12th, finished 12th.
There you go.
It's a way to go right there.
That
Short and
sums
sweet.
it up. Oh, buddy, I'm sorry. You always give me a good laugh, Marty. That was fun. It was fun, Marty. You really did. You had a great start to the race, buddy. I thought that you looked really good. You were attacking one by one, moving up through the field a little bit, and then something happened. What happened?
Yeah, no, it was we actually got swamped on the start. A few guys behind me got a good start, and we're going 4 wide into 1, which was quite fun. And but yeah, started picking them off, and yeah, got him behind the Sanjin Corey battle. That was quite entertaining. But just had a little checkup, not to get into the back of Corey there, and I just pinched the brake, and it ran me wide, and I just sideswiped the tyre barriers, and basically from then on, I had 3 minutes optional when I pitted, and sort of took a minute's worth of repairs, and then found Richard Allwood running around the back, and thought, oh yeah, I'll join him at the back and run around and have a battle, and so a little bit disappointing for the SimPit crew and the SDC boys. But yeah, limited track time coming into the race today. Is sort of appreciate Nigel for the hard work getting the setup ready for us this week, and yeah, it's unfortunate with him and Michael's incident. Sounded like they were having a great race up front.
Absolutely. Thanks so much. Don't go anywhere. Let's bring in Mike Yo. He's all up there by himself waiting for an interview. Without further ado, let's bring in the Yo. Mike Yo, what's happening, brother? Welcome to the Get Dirty MX post-race show.
Hey, how you going, JD?
Oh, fantastic, Mike. So good to see you out on the track again. We can feel complete. We had a great 18-car field today, full of talent. Tell us how it was out there with Sebring, being back up with these group of guys, racing on the Friday night race here in the Americas. Oh, it's all great. We're happy to have you back, Michael. 13th place finish tonight. Tell us about it.
Yeah, look, I didn't have the best second stint, but the first part, as Marty said, I got a ripper start and just gripped up, so I thought, let's go. And then I seen Sanjin come down the left, so I thought I'll back off a little bit just in case he ran wide. The car felt great. Everything felt really good to run with Corey and Sanjin, but after I pitted, I just pressed the fuel button about 3 laps too early, and yeah, as you see, I just had to back off and run it to the end.
Well, all in all, Mike, just welcome back. And we really are happy to have you back. And I thought you had a really good race, considered first race back at a track we don't spend a lot of time on. So keep up the good work. I know we better see you next week as we head off to a Circuit of the Americas, buddy. So best of luck as we continue on.
Yeah, sweet as. Thanks, JD. I'll if I don't have to work next week, I'll definitely be here.
Sounds like a winner, buddy. I like to hear that. Well, now that we have everybody here at the Get 30 MX post race show, we can type in down in the box down there in the comment box. It's time to talk about this. I've been seeing you guys talk about this track, and it is Sebring, not Sebring. Whoever, I guess that's kind of where you're from. I've never heard anybody call it that. I've only heard it called Sebring. Who calls it Sebring?
Well, I always thought it was Sebring, but then I had a mate of mine go over there to race Skip Barber, and he said it's Sebring, and then I thought, well, look, that makes a lot of sense. So since then, I've been saying Sebring. I think it makes a lot more sense.
I think there's a silent Y in there, so it's like Sebring.
What?
Yeah, that one's new. That one is new. You never know.
That makes no sense.
That makes no.
I
Even the
think
Canadian says that makes no
G
sense.
is actually the J sound. I think it's like Sebring.
Oh,
Hey,
y'all
Jake,
are
how do you
way
say
out
Juan?
there.
Juan.
So-
You say that alright?
What?
Where does Juan have anything to do with this?
Silent J.
Oh, y'all are too much. Sebring is the official way that I have heard it. And I live in Georgia, as you guys know, not real far away from Sebring. And I've heard locals that live there, because it's actually a town, and they are right there. They call it Sebring. So the locals call it Sebring there. So I would assume that that's how it's pronounced, because that's how the locals call it. So in Florida, yeah, that's right. It's interesting hearing different pronunciations around the world. But one thing I wanted to talk with you guys about, though, I think we've all come to the conclusion it is Sebring. But call it whatever you want, as long as we know what track you're talking about, it doesn't matter. But here's what does. We have a race, guys. We just completed the first half of the season. Marlon McMullen is our points leader at the moment. We have Sean Kelly, who's inching ever closer, especially with the win today. This is going to go down to the final day, but I want to talk about every driver for just a moment, because we hit for the first time to the Circuit of the Americas. It's very exciting for me. The very first V8 supercar race that I ever saw on television is when the V8 supercars came to Austin for the Austin 400 last year. I was so mesmerized by the V8 supercars. That's how I found out what I'd heard of them, but I'd never seen them. Only reason I'd ever heard of them was because Marcus Ambrose in NASCAR. They said he came from this thing called V8 Supercars. I was like, what the heck is that? And then when I finally saw it, I fell in love almost instantly. And so Circuit of the Americas kind of has a special place for me to see the V8 race. So I'm very, very excited about the race next week. On the other hand, I've heard good and bad things about that track, and I want to hear from different drivers. What do you think about that track? I'm sure that things will change between what you tell me now and what you tell me next week. So just kind of get a view from different drivers. What is your opinion on Circuit of the America, iRacing's newest track?
Drop week.
Good.
Yeah, probably drop week. To be honest, I'm not really liking the full circuit. It's too much stop-start, but the West version isn't too bad. It's just the hairpins are going to be sort of a pain in the neck in this car.
And which configuration are we driving next week? Is it the West?
West. Yeah, it's
Okay.
West.
And I think that's what they drove in the real world Austin 400, I believe.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I mean, freaking West. It's West, and it has as many turns as Sebring, and it's a shorter track.
That's crazy.
The only thing worse than that is Orrin Park. Which I hate, by the way. That's my fourth drop week, by the
I
way.
agree with that too.
Orrin Park will be my number 4 drop week. So
So that's
Yeah,
my
great.
favorite track. So
Well, and it's funny to hear this. Some people's favorite tracks is other people's most dreaded track. Sebring is a track that I think a lot of people tend to like. But I think Circuit of the Americas may be a track that is very difficult for a lot of drivers. It's going to be fun to see how you guys do there next week. The West course is a little bit, it's half of the well, a little over half of the full circuit, and it still has 18 turns. It's 2.6 miles, 4.18 kilometers, however you want to look at it. That's still that's a normal sized track, even though it's not the full length. I think it's going to be fun.
The problem for me is it takes out. Well, the West version, if I remember right, the only reason they did it that way on TV was so the fans that were actually there could see the cars more often. But it takes out the best passing opportunity, which is coming down that long back straight into what in the West track is turn 10, which is a really sharp left hand. And the GT3 cars ran there earlier this season, and you can pick up incident points like crazy at this track. I will not be surprised if we start seeing disqualifications this week.
Really?
It's
Yeah, I'd prefer the full track, but one key difference is the curbs through the S's are different to the curbs I used on the V8 racer when they went there.
Wow.
Yeah, we got these silly yellow pyramids that all they do
Yeah.
is launch you into space.
Yeah, they're pretty. I mean, they're high curves. They're violent. If you hit it, it's going to upset the car majorly. So, like I said, I have not spent a lot of time in this or on this track in the V8. I've been in it loads in the BMW. So I'm fixing to literally, when we get done with this broadcast, I'm about to take the V8 out there on the West Course and just drive it around a little bit to see if I like it as a driver. It's like I said, no matter what, I kind of have a nostalgia connection with it. I love it because of that. But as far as driving, I can see where you guys are coming from. So it's going to be an interesting race next week. I'm sure you guys are going to have to put in a little bit of work this week in practice and preparations for next week. Look forward to seeing how that race. We may see a new winner. Somebody maybe hasn't won this year yet in Victory Lane next week. That'll be fun to watch. So you guys, if you're watching the show right now, make sure you're not going to want to miss next week. These guys are going to have fun. How about the 18-car field tonight, guys? Very, very encouraging to see that.
Yeah, I kind of wish I'd raced tonight.
But if you race, Jim, who would be able to give us our updates on our second split?
I don't know. I nominate Curtis.
Not Jim.
Some other guy.
Some other guy. Well, I tell you what, guys. Here's something. There we go. Nigel had a question he just typed, and it's a good question. Say it, Nigel. Tell everybody on the show what you just said.
I can't say that. That's not a good question at all.
I'll say it for him.
It's a stupid question.
No, it's not. It's actually a good question. Here, Nigel said, will tire wear be down then with so much two-wheeling out there? Because people are going to be popping curves left and right. You know they are. It's actually a good question. It sounds silly at first, but it actually really will happen. I've seen it time and time again. How many times do you see guys on tracks that don't have that big pyramid thing in the middle of the apex of a turn, but there's grass or dirt there, and we see the grass and dirt come up in smogs of smoke because guys actually overshoot a little bit. It's going to happen, and it's going to disrupt a car. Who's to say that it doesn't throw a car on two wheels and get it loose and send it into traffic? It can happen and be devastational, causing big wrecks next week. Yes, sir. That's a good question, Nigel.
My only hope is I don't get launched off one of those and end up upside down through the middle of traffic.
Well, that's why the X Games are there, guys. It's because you can go out there and hop ramps and everything else. It's insane. Can't wait. You're not going to want to miss next week, guys.
Well, that would be fantastic for the broadcast. Somebody should try and do that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it'd be real great. We'll get right on that for you.
It's not hard to do by yourself, but it's going to be even worse if you're back in the pack, because I know from Rock, if you're right on someone's tail coming into those S-band sections, it's so easy to just drop a wheel onto one of those curbs and flip dangerously. So
That's my other big thing with this track is the real series did it, but the real series did it in the current car, and we're still running the old car, which it changes direction kind of like an American drag racer does, which means it doesn't.
Doesn't?
And this track is nothing but change in direction, except for the main straight.
It's a good point. Very good point, Jim.
Every now and then I have one.
Yeah, no, that's that's good. it's going to be fun. Like I said, you guys aren't going to miss it if your guys as drivers, y'all are going to have a little time in, I think, to perform well next week. So that's going to be fun to watch. And I tell you what, is there anything? I got another subject I want to bring up real quick. It's kind of actually retrospective subject, but does anybody have anything they want to talk about this week? Anything exciting coming up, or any big news in anybody's team news?
How
Car of the
about
future?
Yeah, well,
team
yeah.
points?
There you go. That was my next. That's what I was going to bring up. It is retrospect. I have talked about it before, but it's really been weighing on my mind lately. We talk about the team so much in the broadcast, but at the end of the day, they have little to no meaning. And I don't want that to sound bad, but that's the way it is. At the end of the day, these teams have little to no meaning. There is, I mean,
Only in a technical perspective, but for the team, for the drivers themselves, the team's made a lot with R&D, and so within the teams they mean a lot. But for a technical perspective, the team made little. Yes.
I was having a little trouble hearing you, Marty, but I think you were saying that in R&D into the teams it means a lot, but it means a lot. Maybe not to us as spectators. It doesn't mean a lot. And I understand that, but I would like to really like to see team points come into effect. I mean, am I wrong in saying that the teams wouldn't like that? Would you not like that?
I personally think that would make the broadcast a lot better to watch, because you're gonna have team battles on top of the battles going on the track. You know?
Absolutely, Curtis. That's what I think. I just want to know what it's like from the driver's view. And Curtis, I see you, but Curtis is a privateer, and right now, currently, and but Marty or Nigel or any of you guys that are in big teams, Corey, Dylan, Marlon, what's y'all's view on it?
I think, yeah, it would be fun to see the points tallied up through the season, but it is just a bit more work for somebody else, obviously, to go through and do that. But I think, like Curtis says, it can just add a second dimension to some of the battles that are going on track, maybe, and gives it a little bit more. Your battle for 10th might be worth more than it is personally. So yeah, it can't be a bad thing for sure.
I was just thinking, even if we look at it like today, the battle all season long between you and Kamikaze Race Team, SDC Motorsports and Kamikaze Race Team would be phenomenal. With watching you battle Michael Fulcher all season, it would make it. It's already great, but it would just be just unreal. It'd be phenomenal. We would have more on these team battles, more things that the back of the field would mean so much more, and I think it would be wonderful. I tell you what, man, we'll figure a way. We can put our heads together and figure a way to make this happen. If somebody, I mean, I'll even help do the points if somebody will teach me how to do them correctly. We can get this thing done.
I'm already working on it. Well, I'm not. I got a guy, as they say on Pawn Stars. I got a guy.
Some other guy.
Yeah, I know a guy.
That works.
Yeah, it's actually the guy that did the spreadsheet for me for the individual points. He used to do it for the teams also, and he's graciously offered to help put it together for the teams for the America Series. So he's working on that now for me.
Do we know this guy?
Ah, wonderful.
I don't want him to get bombarded. No, it's not Louis Todamede. Marlon. I don't want him to get bombarded. I'll ask him. I have no problem giving him credit for it. I just don't want to have him get bombarded by other people. Oh, do this for me. So
yeah, and that's very understandable, Jim. Well, that is very promising news, and it makes me very, very excited. It should make you guys excited too. That maybe next season this thing will be rolling out, and that will definitely add to your already amazing broadcast. Like I said, for the viewers that come and watch you guys each and every week, as a broadcast team, we try to make it as entertaining as possible, but you guys as the drivers are the show, and y'all do such a phenomenal job. All that can happen from adding team points is make it better. And I just think that would be awesome. I mean, these races are phenomenal. They really are. They're great to watch. I'm sure. I mean, do most of y'all watch the broadcast as you're racing? Do you go back and watch them?
I plead the
Yeah.
fifth.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I always go back and watch the full thing. When I'm driving, you don't see the entire race, so it's nice to go back and watch the other battles on the track.
Yeah, and you can actually learn a lot from watching the broadcast, learning other drivers' tendencies that you wouldn't normally be able to see. Lots of things like that, and I agree 100%. You don't, when you're driving, you get to just see what's happening around you. You don't get to see the whole picture, and watching the broadcast definitely does that.
I
Okay,
like
well,
it because we're able to see all the drivers' personalities. Where if you just show up and race, you don't really get to see the personality of the guy in front of you. And in post-race comments and stuff, you get to hear what was actually happening with the guy that ended up running you off the road or something, and why that ended up happening. And you don't feel so much anger toward him once you find out that that really was a person in that car driving, someone that you talk to and will get to communicate with after the race, and he was having issues of his own, and he actually felt just as bad about it as angry as you are about it. He feels just as bad about it, and I don't know, just getting the personality of everybody and learning who everybody is, I think, is a big deal as well.
Yeah, well said, Kane. I mean, seeing some of these guys' battles as moving up through the field and they're battling each other each week, it's great to see, and it reminds me of some of the battles I had a couple of years ago. And yeah, it's going to have a few spills and thrills from time to time, but or a few bad runs of luck. But yeah, these guys just got to bounce back, make sure they reflect on every race, and yeah, look at what happens, see what to learn, and yeah, just have fun with the guys around you, really.
Yeah, man, that's a great point. I'm excited of what we've accomplished here in the V8 Supercar Americas series. Kane and myself came in at the beginning of, I apologize, no, we didn't. We came in the middle of the season before last, and we only broadcasted, I think, the last 2 or 3 races of that season. But since then, we've had one complete season and this half of a season, and I feel like we've been here a long time just because of the relationships that we've made with all you guys as drivers, learning about you, learning your tendencies, learning things about you as drivers, as people. It's just been phenomenal. And one thing that is so exciting is the growth of this league. And I just have a feeling that the V8 Supercar series is fixing to get a surge of newcomers. And part of that is so wonderful. And another part of it really scares. And what scares me about it is this is the best place on iRacing. This is the best place in sim racing. We have the best people in sim racing. What I mean by that is nowhere else in the sim racing community can you go in and get immediate respect. Every time I'm on a track in any type of V8 supercar race on this service, the drivers are very, very considerate. They're very understanding. They don't ram you off the road just for the heck of it. They don't hit you and then say, oh, no, it's your fault. No, it's very respectful driving. It's clean racing and it's good racing. It's the best on iRacing. And part of me really worries that when we get just a big surge of newcomers once we release this car of the future in the Holden Commodore, that we'll get some of this crap. And it'll be such a large amount of people, we won't be able to control it, and we may lose some of this. It's almost like a community of people that we have right now.
Well, I've got a confession to make, JD, to be honest. When the broadcast started and a lot of new people came in, I was actually really grumpy with it. I didn't like it at all because we had been racing, I don't know, probably about 2 years on the Americas. And so everybody kind of knew everybody else, and then you start getting a bunch of new people and start getting bumped around a little bit more, or optimistic racing and stuff like that. And it's not that it was different. It's just, well, not that it was worse. It was just different. You had to get used to new people. So I think it'll be the same. There'll be some growing pains, I think, but in the end, it'll be good racing just like it is now because you're still going to have to hold on for dear life with this car.
Yeah, I mean, yes, sometimes takes a bit to feel like other people, and it's a hard car to drive, so sometimes a lot of mistakes are being made, and yeah, when a whole lot of newcomers come, they'll be right, and some people have issues week to week, but it's important to always reflect on your race and never carry a grudge through the season, because, you know, last thing you want is your blood boiling whenever you encounter so-and-so person on track. You just got to, you know, and anyone who's holding a grudge week to week, hopefully, you know, they won't really go far in their I rating, so, yeah, just got to have fun and reflect on the race.
That's a great point, Sean. People that tend to hold grudges like that, they don't go far in iRacing. So that's a really, really good point. That makes me feel a lot better. I think that Jim said it perfect. It makes me feel a lot better because I understand that when you get a new influx of people and you get worried that things are going to change. Yeah, no, hold on. Yeah, let that laugh out. Go ahead and get that one out.
I wouldn't mention it on the broadcast, though. We'll keep that to ourselves. So I got in a lot of trouble for doing that once.
Yeah.
I can't imagine why.
Yeah.
I'll find it. Hang on.
But like you were saying, guys, I don't think it's going to be too big of a problem. The top split. It takes a while to get into that top split, and as the new drivers come in, they'll have to work their way up through. And the guys that ain't gonna make it, that ain't cut out for it, they're just not gonna make it up there. So I don't think the broadcast split is going to change a whole lot. We might see a couple drivers change. Some of the drivers that are running second split now may end up coming up into the top split. But overall, I think our racing is just going to improve, and I think the community that we have here is so much different with the help that the guys provide and just the camaraderie that you find when you even go into a practice server. I think as the guys, new people come over here, I think they're going to be just as overwhelmed by that as what we were when we came over to this side. And it's like, this is different than any aspect of iRacing that we had been up to this point. You know, that you don't see the trolls and the guys going backwards on the track, or it's all respectful. Everybody seems to be very respectful to each other, and it's fantastic.
I think it's something that Jim actually touched on there. The car isn't going to be easy to drive, and that's what makes this series, I think, is the challenge of the car. So a lot of people will jump in it and try it and can't drive it and just leave it. And I think the new model, it's not going to be easy to drive, so you might get some extra participation, you know, with the tire model change and stuff, but ultimately you can have your kind of your hardcore drivers that you see now, I think. So yeah, just with the difficulty of the car, it's going to keep a lot of the idiots away, I guess.
And that's a good thing. Yeah, that's a good point, Nige. It's going to be fun. I am excited about it. I can't lie. And last week, I even asked you guys if you thought that it was going to make the new build we'll have in just 6 weeks from now. Or really down to 5 weeks, I guess, now. So I think it's going to be here. I think it will be here, and I'm excited to welcome it. I really am. I just pray that we don't lose the Ford Falcon. I've heard many people say that there's no way. But I don't know. Still haven't.
We've actually got confirmation now.
Is there? But it is there confirmation? Where is?
Yeah, it's in the forums where they've actually said that they're bringing the Holden and they're going to revamp the Falcon.
Okay, well that makes me very happy then, because I was wondering how we were going to have a car of the future on the track and then an older version Ford Falcon. It doesn't make sense. But if they're going to revamp the Ford Falcon, that makes me more excited. Let's get here.
Too much.
I have been working too much, and but I tell you what, guys, that is so just awesome. And we've also heard the rumors that there may be some more models coming in, not just Ford and Holden. We may have Volvo coming to the picture, maybe even Nissan. What do you guys think of that?
Well, that's going to make things interesting in the way of what you were saying before about teams, because then you're going to be going to constructors championships, you know.
Absolutely. And let me tell you right now, in the NASCAR iRacing series that Kane and myself broadcast on Wednesday evenings, we have the Ford Fusion, the Chevy SS, and the Toyota Camry, and it has been so much fun. It was fun when we just had the Ford and Chevy, but now that we have the Toyota, it's that third wheel in there, and it has made it's made it so much more fun because teams do drive certain cars. You know, you have this team, they're all Chevy, baby. That's all they're driving. Then you got this Camry team over here and this Ford team over here, and we'll look at the top 5 and we'll say, okay, we have 3 Chevys and 2 Fords and, you know, whatever in the top. Where are the Toyotas today? You know, and it makes it so much more fun. You have pride in your manufacturers. You have a points championship. And then you have your manufacturer championship. We don't really count it because the official series, but it's awesome that it's there. And I think that you bring that over here to where the Ford and Holden rivalry is already so big in Australia. Oh, it's going to be amazing. I can't wait to have it. I think it's the best, one of the best moves iRacing's done for the V8 Supercars. I can't wait to see how it is once we finally get it here, how big it can get.
I think that with the new build and everything, as Sean said before, people are going to come try it out. If they can't drive it, well, they're not going to make it. I mean, it took me a year and a half or nearly 18 months to actually make it to the top split. So, you know, you've got to be persistent and really curb your ways of driving so that, like you guys said, is be respectful, be open to understanding that if your car is, you know, damaged or whatever, then you've got to give respect to other people, and that's how you get to the top split. That's how you stay in the top split, and that's how you earn the respect of other drivers in the top split. That's what I believe.
I agree, and I see it every week whenever we're broadcasting, where you go watch some of the NASCAR races, and every driver's biggest concern is themselves. You come watch one of these, and most of the guys, their biggest concern is the other drivers. They don't want to hurt another driver's race. They want the best finish they can get, but not at the cost of another driver.
And where do you see that in sim racing other than here?
It is very rare, but it's in full force here in the Americas series.
I enjoy it.
And it probably is the same in the main series. I have not been a commentator for that and not been involved in that one very much. I don't know, but I assume it's the same. I think it's really the community of drivers that we have in the car itself.
That's something I'd like to get a perspective of, Kane, is what the difference is between the main series and the Americas series. I know we have drivers that have been in both, so I'm sure we could get some kind of insight from them. But I wonder if it is about the same. Is it more of just the community, or is it more of just of this actual race?
I think it's the group, JD and Kane. The group of people that come here on a Saturday, for instance, for us, Friday for you guys, is different to the main one, because lots of people in Australia can join the main one at a certain time, but lots of people can't join, you know, the Americas one. And I just think it's the group of people that you've got here that can and do show up regularly, have built that trust and respect.
Yeah, it's awesome. It really has really been fun, and I'm excited just to see how it continues to grow. It truly is fun to watch, and I tell you what, man, we got something special here. We got a great championship run going on right now. I'm not going to ask you guys to pick a winner. We can't do that with drivers, but it sure is fun. I tell you what. Hey guys, it's been a fun week. I would love to continue the show on forever, but we got to get ready for Circuit of the Americas next week. And I tell you what, I really have enjoyed the post-race show today. The Get Dirty MX post-race show has been fun, and you guys have given me a lot to laugh about later. But anyways, it's a great point, and it should make you all proud that you're part of such a community of drivers. very skilled drivers. And one of the things I talked with Jim Davey, we'll punch more on this next week, is I want to talk about some of the upcoming talent that we have up in that second split. It's sounding like, we're going to have some good competition coming up here very soon. And I think we should see, with the influx of new people, with the amount of new people coming in, the field sizes should grow a little bit. So that'll be fun to see. And not majorly, but a few more cars. Like we had an 18-car field tonight. Really fun. A lot better than the 12 and 13 we used to see every week. So really fun. Guys, looking forward to next week. Kane, anything else you want to touch on before we get out of here?
I would like to remind all the road guys that next Wednesday, the NASCAR iRacing Series will be going to Sonoma. It's going to be a great race to watch. So if you guys, road guys, want to watch the NASCAR guys hit the road course, we will go live right around 8 o'clock Central, 9 o'clock Eastern in the Americas. Boy, that's going to be about an hour or so earlier for you guys over there in the afternoon.
But it's going to be definitely worth watching. These are the best oval drivers, some of the best oval drivers in the world in sim racing, and they're going to be tackling Sonoma in these Gen 6 cars. It's going to be a blast. We're probably going to see some step-up drivers, Kane, some drivers that maybe fill in for some of the oval guys. A lot of times when we hit an oval track like this, or a road track like this, pardon me, in an oval, some of the guys that are dual drivers, they drive oval and road, they get really excited, and they'll normally don't drive full-time in the NASCAR iRacing Series, but they have a high enough I rating that they'll be able to pop in there. So we may see a lot of new names this upcoming week. It's going to be fun to watch. You're going to see some very familiar names that you maybe have seen over here on the roadside over there. I do believe you'll see that. I challenge you guys to check it out.
We've seen a couple of the road guys over there on the ovals a couple times throughout the season. I think those couple drivers will for sure see on the track, but I think we'll see even more.
And even
Mike Hudson.
Oh yeah,
that's a name. He's actually really high on the oval side because he does late models and super late models a lot, and he tends to run these road races for him. So I think last year he was in the top split.
Well, we'll keep an eye out for him.
Well, guys, that's it for tonight's show. We're going to wrap it up here. Exciting. Enjoyed it. Everybody, thanks for coming, especially guys still here. Nigel Baines, Corey Preston, Curtis Chipaway. Awesome thanks to Jim Davey, Marty Carroll, Sean Kelly, and Marlon McMullen, you name them, Michael Yo, all the guys, Corey Preston, everybody that was here tonight. Do appreciate you coming in for the post-race, Get Dirty MX post-race show. It has been fun. We'll have a lot more to talk about next week as well after we tackle Circuit of the Americas. I'm sure we're going to have some really fun opinions to talk about iRacing's newest track. Make sure if you can't catch us live next Wednesday, you can catch us anytime at v8sonline.com. Just click on the NASCAR tab and the race down in the video player. Also, you can also catch us on YouTube. Just search V8s Online. All of our races, including all the V8s Americas races, are posted there as well. Thanks from V8s Online. I'm JD Smith. Kane Craft with me tonight. A very special thanks goes out to Jake Butler for sitting in with us tonight. Truly enjoyed having him with us. He did a fantastic job.
Button.
That's it. All right, what'd I say?
Button.
Uh-oh. Jake Burton, sorry. Don't know what I was thinking there. Anyways, from everybody, appreciate it. And y'all have a good night. We'll see you next week as we come to you live from the Circuit of the Americas. Good night, everybody. Contact free. Contact free.
Muggleton just has to cross over this crest. He will cross the line and will win the championship.